everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is In The Mixer. Welcome to episode 95, finish of another week, a special Christmas episode. The Green Screen Nightmare makes its return of our Isle of Man series now. I did mention in the last episode we kind of needed a good run of form, and we have had a pretty good little run of form. Of course, the wheels came off a little bit in the last couple of games. We've had a loss and a draw in that time, but results have been really, really good. And I'm hopeful it's a Christmas episode, which means gifts, which means presents, that this can be the one this week where we actually get 6 points in an episode. We've got a really good opportunity to do it. Let's jump in and have a look at the two games that we're going to be bringing you guys, as well as our recent results. So as you guys can see here, we have rocketed up the table. We are up into second position on 53 points, but it is incredibly tight. Fulham are 1 point behind us with a massive goal difference of plus 30. Cardiff are only 2 points behind us with a plus 18 goal difference, again ahead of ours. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Bristol, Huddersfield, Stoke, Reading and Brentford, but it is still incredibly tight across like those top 9 positions. A whole bunch of different teams duking it out for playoff positions, for automatic promotion places. We're trying to keep up with West Brom, who've smashed it. Fulham are on a crazy long unbeaten run. There's a lot going on, but if we go back and have a look at our schedule, we have had some fantastic performances. We, of course, beat West Brom 2-1, late winner for Goran Petrovic in the 93rd minute. We beat Fulham 2-1 as well. They did score quite early from Nabil Touazi, but Altamiranda equalising in the first half and then getting the winner on an hour was excellent for us as well. We beat Watford 1-0, we beat Middlesbrough 3-0 in probably our best performance so far this season. We beat Swansea 3-1, we beat Huddersfield 4-2, and we beat Luton 1-0, though they did go down to 10-man, and it did take a very late strike from Stuart Dorber to actually get across the line there. We were brought back down to earth by Hull. You can see from the match ratings here, just our most creative players really struggled. So we didn't create a lot, we didn't defend particularly well. They deserved their goal and they probably deserved the win on balance over throughout the day. And then another disappointing one, a 1-1 draw with Charlton. We were quite good in this game. We had more than enough chances. They really only had like 1 or 2 highlights. And Theodoros Celebonis, 95th minute equaliser for Charlton, got them a point, which I shouldn't complain about. We've had a great run before then. We moved up the table quite a bit, but if we had have gotten a win and a draw, or like 2 wins in those Hull and Charlton games, we might actually be sitting top of the division, which is interesting. Now to change this, we have kind of tweaked our tactics just a little bit. We've moved to the Isle Squeeze instead of the English Jam structure, which is our new tactical style. Basically, all it is, it's a little bit shorter passing to try and make the most of the 5 players we've got in midfield. And we have also changed some of our individual player roles, which I've done a couple of different times throughout the course of the save, throughout the course of the series. I just think it freshens up certain players a little bit. So we are playing with ball-playing defenders at the back at the moment. Neither of them are super comfortable in that role, but we are continuing to try and get them working it across our different mentalities here. We've also pushed Aguirre to be an attacking advanced playmaker so that he moves with the ball a little bit more, tries to drag defenders a little bit more. It seems to be helping out Altamiranda quite a bit because he's scored quite regularly over our recent run. And it's of course using a Messiah on support in midfield instead of the 2 deep lying playmakers, which we had been doing for a little bit as well. We're going from whip crosses, from lower crosses, just because I think Altamiranda is quite small, and really the only person with any height in that front 4 is Petrovic on the right-hand side. So we're going with whip crosses instead to try and get it a bit lower down when it hits the deck. We were on low crosses previously, and out of possession we are using tighter marking and we are getting stuck in a little bit more. The main formation we've been using is this attacking structure that you guys can see here, which I've just kind of gone ham with. I have put in pretty much every in-possession instruction that you can put in. Again, it's slightly shorter passing. It's a little bit lower a tempo in that we just try and get the ball moving as quickly as we can. Our positive style, if you wanted to look at it this way, this is kind of a little bit more tiki-taka where we're playing with a higher tempo but still shorter passing. Once we get to the attacking structure, it's a little bit lower a tempo so that players aren't necessarily looking to release the ball as quickly, and our wingers have a bit more creative freedom to run at the defence, as does Aguirre in the middle, as does Altamiranda. We're kind of just giving it to the front 4 and letting them figure it out from there. It's a weird structure thing for me to like have a higher tempo possession based style and then a lower tempo attacking structure, but it seems to be working at the moment and doing quite well in the match engine. Very few defensive roles. Wolf moves to support, Madrigal stays as a supporting Messiah, and our wing backs go attacking to try and get those 2v1s on that side. It has been working quite well for us. I'm hopeful it will continue in this episode. We're going to use this attacking structure against the game, or this first game that we've got against Portsmouth, who are 24th in the division. And then we've actually got Reading, who are down in 8th. Now, don't let 8th place fool you. They're only 1 game outside of the playoff positions, and they are quite a good side. I think Reading have one of the better overall lineups, better squad values in the division itself. So we can't take them lightly. They're going to be very good. They've still got Eddie Ketchia still playing there. Coop Miners has rocked up at Reading. We've still got David Raya from Brentford in goal. So they've got a good side. They have played Premier League football over the last kind of 5 years as well. I'm sure they will be desperate to try and knock us off. But it's a really good opportunity to get 6 points. I desperately want to try and get it. As far as the squad's concerned, Goodlife has struggled for fitness a little bit. Illich has struggled for fitness a little bit. We brought Connor Carden up into the main team, mainly using him as support for either the Messiah or deep line playmaker roles. He's effectively just a squad player. We picked him up during the off-season from Manchester City. I wasn't going to play him. I was going to loan him out. No one came in for him. So we're just keeping him in as the squad to give us a full group of 22 and 2 players available for each position. But the Wolf effectively plays when he's available. Madrigal effectively plays when he's available. And Hendy provides the backup Messiah option if we need it. Greising's still not in the side at the moment. The main reason that he's not is because of those homegrown player rules. At the moment, we've only got 2 homegrown club players, Tyrone Taylor and the Wolf, who potentially are going to be really important for us off of bench roles if we do get promoted this season. But I do think both of them are kind of hitting their ceiling in terms of potential and the level that they're playing at as well. So that's going to be a whole other conversation. We've got quite a few different players here as well who've now been at the club in their second seasons, like Escobar, Hernandez, Petrovic. Hopefully, when we get to next season, they will start being homegrown players as well, and they'll count towards the overall squad value, because that's kind of stinging us a little bit in terms of what we can put on the bench and what we can put out on the park. Illich has had a bit of a knock. He has played well when he has been playing, but he's been out with pulled ankle ligaments, which means that Ramirez has played quite a bit over the last month or so. But again, he's been doing quite well. I think his 2.5 star rating, 4 star potential doesn't necessarily reflect how good he is at his role, and a lot of his key attributes are over like 12 for what we need him to do, which is be a winger on support in that advanced role. So he's been doing quite well as also. These 2 games, our 2 December matches, are the last ones before the January transfer window. I don't think we're going to do a tremendous amount. It would be good to bring in another central midfielder, like a proper specialist Mazzala, but I don't think there's a tremendous amount out there on the market. We are keeping an eye on a few different players around the world who are like 16, 17-year-old wonder kids to try and buy them in the hope that they'll arrive in like 2 years' time, a more finished article than what they are at the moment. That's the long-term view I'm trying to take with our signings at the moment. And we do also have a left winger that we'll be joining, but we'll see how he actually pulls up when he arrives. Again, similar scenario, we bought him when he was 16. We've waited 2 years for him to actually arrive. If he arrives as a finished article, great. If he doesn't, we'll send him out on loan and try and continue his development as well. But more than enough talking from me. I think I've recapped everything that could possibly have happened within the game. We're going to jump into the game against Portsmouth. You can see here they are down towards the bottom of the division, rock bottom of the table. That never really bodes well. It usually means that they're probably going to pull out only their 7th win of the season against us today, but I'm hopeful our attacking structure, our tactical tweaks, a team that's in relatively good form over the last 5 should have enough about them to get beyond them. And slightly different, we'll just jump straight into the lineups. They've, of course, got Marcus Dewhurst in goal, one of the better young English players in the game, if you can pick him up in your saves. You've got 2 players that have been at the club at the entire save so far. Jack Watman, now 34 years of age. He's been with them pretty much since the start of the save, over 500 appearances for the club now. We've played him a couple of times over the last few years. They've still got Matt Clark there as well, playing at left back, also 34 years of age. They've both been wonderful servants. He actually left Portsmouth for a little bit, it looks like, in the game save. Went to Derby, then Brighton, then Swansea, and is now back at Portsmouth for the last few seasons. They've got Lewis Potter, who's from Hull. We've played him a bunch of times over the last few years. And the guy up top I'm going to highlight is Louis Barry, ex-Barcelona junior at West Bromwich, I think, at the start of the save. Very good player, consistently gives us issues when we play against them. So if he goes out and scores today, he just goes in that box of players that are just consistently playing well against me. Passionately, we're going to say this is a great opportunity to show the media their right to back you up. That consistently is working at the moment in terms of our pre-match shouts and that sort of stuff. And really, all I really want is to just get a comfortable 3 points to start this episode before we go into that game against Reading. First highlight we've seen here, it is on the left-hand side for Portsmouth. Cooper cuts inside, Aguirre with a great tackle, and he's sent one down the channel for Altamiranda to chase. He's one out against 2 defenders on the right-hand side, but what a finish that is. That is a man in form, and 15th goal of the season for Altamiranda. It's taken him a while to find his feet in England since coming across from Argentina, but the diminutive striker has pulled out an absolute pearl of a save there. Aguirre just sends it into the channel, backs the striker to get beyond him, takes him around the defender, and it's an excellent finish. Smashes that into the far corner. The keeper maybe could have dove at it. He just stood still, but still an excellent start for us. Corner, right-hand side, Ramirez wraps his foot around it. It's headed away by Barlow, but Madrigal should reset here. Out to Ramirez again, can wrap his foot around it, or cut inside and go to strike himself. It did deflect there, but Dewhurst did very well to read the deflection and save. Wide free kick for Portsmouth, headed away. Madrigal's going to recover and can send men up the channel here. He's gone long. Clark's going to recover the ball for Portsmouth. Aguirre again commits very high up the pitch to try and win it back. The press doesn't quite work. Louis Barry out left now to Clark. Portsmouth coming forward. Bench shot with a good tackle. Petrovic does well to keep it in. Deep in our own corner. Back through Kubis, who can work it out to the left-hand side now through Sigurdsson. Out left to Hernandez. We've got a 2v1 now on this left-hand side if we work it correctly. Instead, he's kind of looked to go himself and struggled to get beyond Boggle there. Well, he's done well to win it back high up the pitch. Wolf now, top of the box. Can he get the strike away himself? Oh, he's gone near post and it had a fair bit of venom on it, but the accuracy wasn't there. Good little press there, though. Good recovery once we lost possession. Throw in, left-hand side. Hernandez finds Aguirre. Back to Hernandez again. Ball in towards Altamiranda. It's gotten away by the Portsmouth defence. And the highlight comes to an end. I wonder if Altamiranda maybe got the first touch on that strike and it was more of a block than a tackle, but things are looking good. We've got 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're going to use their demand more shout. They've got to throw in very deep on their half now. Petrovic wins it back and looks forward to Altamiranda very quickly. Now's where we come on the break. We've got Madrigal joining in the middle. We've got Ramirez on the left-hand side who's picked up the ball now. Cuts it back to Aguirre, top of the box. Now the Wolf. Looks to play possession on the right-hand side. Petrovic. Got an overlapping run in Benchop who was offside. Petrovic now plays him as he returns to an onside position. Ball across to Aguirre. Wonderful little play there. Just a little reverse pass to Petrovic. He hangs the ball up towards back post. And Aguirre does very well. Not just to head it, back stick, but also clip the base of the post on its way in. And wonderful, wonderful football. This attacking structure is working really, really well for us. Aguirre, good little header. Hit clips the inside of the post. Keeper can do nothing about it. And a 2-0 advantage with a few minutes remaining in the half. 2 minutes to be added on here at the end of the first. We're through that now and the referee calls half time. Portsmouth, 2 shots, 1 on target. They've had quite a few highlights that we've had have started like with throw-ins deep for them. So I wonder if they're committing too many men forward to set pieces. We've had 11 shots, 6 on target, 50% of the ball. And really, the only thing to say is I'm very pleased with the performance, lads. Keep it going. We might be on for a 4 or 5-0 here if we play in the second half as we did in the first. Looking around the grounds, West Brom just a machine at the moment. They're 1-0 up against Middlesbrough away from home. Looks like Reading, who are our next opponent, are down to 10 men and drawing with Swansea. We've got a highlight here, though. Petrovic with the ball on the right-hand side. Clark recovers. Back to him again. Now forward to Lewis Potter. Ball over the top for Davies, who has gotten goal side, and just need to stand him up. It's a good save from Kubis. He didn't have much of an angle to work with for the strike, but got it on target. Kubis had to be big. Corner, taken by John McGinn, who's come off the bench, returning to Portsmouth from Spartak Moscow, I think, in the off-season. Petrovic looks to close him down. It's a good header at far post and just over. Hernandez was there, making it difficult, but there is still that danger from Portsmouth on the counter. I've got this highlight here. Let's play out. I probably should have made subs about 10 minutes ago, but that's where we're at. Benchop with an excellent header. Altamiranda with a touch around the centre defender and bursts away and gets the strike in. His second goal of the match and 16th of the season. Tell you what, having a striker in form in Football Manager, it just changes the playing experience a tremendous amount. Like when we were struggling for goals early part of the season, it was really, really painful. But look at this. He picks it up pretty much inside the centre circle. One touch around the centre back. Too much pace for the defenders to catch up with him. And the finish is excellent, just over the top of the on-rushing keeper. And surely that helps seal the points. Now we just need to rotate a little bit looking forward to the other game. The Wolf has a yellow card, so we're going to put Hendy in for him. And we might even switch Hendy and Madrigal. Get the fresh legs as the Messiah, playing a little bit more supporting. Ramirez hasn't had the greatest game. I might let him see it out. Oh, Hernandez has been sent off. How's that happened? Okay, we might take Aguirre off then. And we'll bring on Tyrone Taylor at left fullback, which he can do a job. It's not his preferred position, but he can do a job. And maybe we'll hold on to that last sub for the last 10 minutes or so. Let's use demand more as well. Did that happen while I was in there making the subs, that Hernandez got sent off? That's absolutely crazy. I guess now we're just trying to hold on a little bit. Dewhurst with a long ball forward. Right wing is nowhere near it, so Lewis Potter brings it down and plays it back into midfield to McGinn. Now Lewis Potter. I'd like to keep a clean sheet here, boys. If we can try and defend just a little bit. Boggle with the overlapping run, gets to a wide area. It's pinballing around, and Louis Barry, we talked about him in the build-up. He's consistently scoring against us. And the weird thing is, that's his 16th goal of the season. He's scored the same amount of goals this year as Altamiranda has, but we're second in the league, and Portsmouth are rock bottom. It was a good run, but that back run, and Aguirre is still playing at left back, so has that sub not gone through? That sub has not gone through. Okay, right. Why did that happen? It's saying that fullback... that he came on, or he came off, for Tyrone Taylor, who's now on the pitch. Okay, that was a weird little glitch. Fullback defend. So that probably didn't help matters. And the Wolf we should also take on, bring off Hendy. Alright, so none of our subs went through. That's weird, but I'm sure we should still have enough about us to see out the remaining 10 minutes here. 4 minutes added on, we're through that now. Referee calls full time, a very good performance, a 3-1 win away from home despite going down to 10 men. 16 shots, 9 on target, 54% possession, 8-4 and 46 for Portsmouth. They did come back into it later on, but I think Probably our subs not going through didn't help that. Assertively, a good win, boys. Well done. And we will carry on to the game against Reading. We do have a full week off. We have had a hectic period with like games every Saturday, Wednesday for pretty much since the start of the season. We managed to get through that and be in a good league position. I'm hopeful now that we do have kind of like a week space in between games. It will open things up for us and make runs of form and fitness and consistency in our lineups a lot easier. Quality of possession provides victory. Altamiranda gets the man of the match award with his double and 8.8 match rating. Post-match press conference, the assistants can do. Hernandez has been banned for 1 game, so he'll miss the game against Reading. And let's give Altamiranda some player praise. Superb in front of goal last time out. He was excellent. And now magic editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Reading and look at the 2 lineups. And just like that, we are a week ahead now. There have been a couple of different changes throughout the course of the week. Adam Andrews, who's our backup number 10, he's complaining about his playing time, so I've dropped him from the squad entirely. We might loan him out in January just to get rid of him because he's being a bit of a nightmare. Kubis also picked up a knock. We haven't used Viscanyan much throughout the course of the year. We're going to give Kubis the opportunity to play. It said that he was okay in like that little preview that he was capable of playing, but we'll see how he gets on. And Goodlife comes in for the suspended Hernandez, who now has a 3-game ban after that straight red card, which I didn't see in the last game. Illich comes in on the left-hand side for Ramirez, who drops down to the bench, and his return from injury. And we have also made the adjustment. We've gone back to our positive structure. So it's a little bit more ball retention. It's a little bit faster pace, like smaller passes, quicker, to try and keep possession in midfield. Looking at Reading side, it looks very strong. Ray is playing in goal. Coop Miners, who I think is a defensive midfielder, as his default rating, can play at the base of midfield as well. Comes through the AZ Alkmaar Academy. Oh, no, not Academy, but he comes through at AZ Alkmaar at the start of everyone's save. He's been at Aston Villa, Burnley, and now Reading. So he's played Premier League football. Very good young player. Very good one to pick up if you're looking for a good defensive midfielder for like the next 5-10 years at the start of your save. They've also got Musa Silla up top, 31 years of age now, a young player that comes through the Monaco Academy at the start of everyone's save. He's been all over the shop at Gwyncomp, I think on loan. Oh no, he was there for 5 years, so they must have owned him. Fulham, Cagliari, and now Reading looks to be a very solid striking option. And Ketchia is their leading scorer for the season. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but we're just going to pretend. Arsenal Junior, of course, on loan at Leeds at the start of a regular save. I think in the update he's back at Arsenal in their under-23s, but I could be incorrect in that. He's been at Norwich, Leeds, Huddersfield, and Reading throughout the course of this save. Very good young English player if you can pick him up, but very expensive as well coming through that Arsenal Academy. Assertively, we're going to say I want you to pick up where you left off last time out. Everyone seems positive by that. And really, this is probably the best opportunity I think we've had so far in Season 3 in the Championship to get 6 points in an episode. I desperately want to get it and celebrate our Christmas period the right way. Keep an eye on other games. Fulham's got Port Vale away from home. West Brom has Sheffield Wednesday. They've already taken a lead against Sheffield Wednesday, so they just continue to absolutely massacre teams. And we are through 35 minutes without any highlights. We're going to demand more here and see how we go. It starts with a highlight, a long throw there for Reading. Sends Silla down into the channel. Delgado, the left back into Saputo in midfield. Press is decent. Back to Coop Miners, across to Daniels. They've worked their way past the forward line there. And now Vincent over on the right-hand side will look to go 1v1 with Goodlife. Back ball into Silla and his header just over the crossbar. First highlight goes Reading's way. And nice little interplay there to eventually lead to that header. But the defensive line was good. We were always tight to the men. 1 minute to be added on. We're through that now. And at halftime, they've had 5 shots, 3 on target, 50% of the ball. We've had 6 shots, 3 on target, 50%, but no key highlights that we've seen as yet. Assertively, we're going to say I'm happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. And we might also tell the defence assertively, you weren't that bad, but you can improve. And they all look very delighted, which is good. If we get a clean sheet, I usually back us to try and find the back of the net at some point. But we know Reading are a good team. And I think, is it still the Medeski Stadium? I'm not sure what it'd be called in the game, but I think they've had a good run of fixtures at home as well. We're through the hour mark now. Let's hit pause in case anyone gets sent off this time. I don't like hitting pause. I like to try and stay in the moment, keep it realistic when making my subs, but we're going to hit pause just because I don't want to go down to 10 men again. The Wolf has a yellow card. I'm going to trust the Wolf. We've got Petrovic, who's going to come off for Dorber. He's struggling a little bit. Ben Chop hasn't had a great game. We might bring on Sean Dixon as the defensive wing-back. And Madrigal has struggled as well. Do I risk it by going 3 subs with about 28 minutes remaining? Screw it, why not? Let's go for it. Passionately, let's say I have faith in you, get out there, make the difference. And we're going to stay positive for now and use our get creative shout. But if we don't have any highlights come through in the next 10 minutes, we might go attacking for the last 10 minutes and see how we get on. First overlapping on here for Goodlife. Ball in is poor. Welsh comes forward with it for Reading. The Wolf is tracking him, and the Wolf's brought him down on that yellow card. I said I trusted the Wolf, and I shouldn't have trusted the Wolf. All right, what are we going to do here? We're going to go attacking, because why not? We're going to make Hendy play as a deep line playmaker on defend. And we're just going to commit 4 up front and go a little bit more direct. And let's see if we can't ride this out for the remaining 20 minutes. Good Life's picked up a yellow card now, which means we've got a couple of risky players out here. It looks like they've got a throw in on the left-hand side, sorry. Delgado can do long throws. Power with the ball gets a strike away. Kubis with a good save. And we've gotten forward here. The highlights continued. Long ball forward towards Illich. Haven't seen much from any of the wingers thus far. Good Life with an excellent supporting run. Now he's going to have to look to cut it back in towards Altamiranda. Sousa heads it back to Raya. Smart header defensively. And Reading recover possession. The highlight continues here again. Going end-to-end football at the moment. Ketchy's moved out to the right-hand side. Someone's got to step to him to stop this run. And strike from distance. Thankfully not on target. But he pretty much ran 45 metres with the ball before anyone got to him. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to use this to man Morshout. We're setting up a bit of a grandstand finish. Backs to the wall. Defensive job here for the 10 men of Isle of Man. 4 minutes to be added on. We're through the majority of that time now. Is there going to be any late drama? No, there isn't. The referee calls full time. So 2 games this episode where we've gone down to 10 men. We didn't get 6 points, which is disappointing, but I wonder if we've got some sort of aggression issue since our tactical tweak. 15 shots, 9 on target, 48% possession for Reading. We, of course, had 8 shots, 4 on target, and 52% of the ball. We did all right once we went down to 10 men, but didn't create a tremendous amount in this game. Calmly, I'm going to say you're unlucky today, and let's calmly tell the defence as well. Happy with your solid defensive work because we need to keep clean sheets. That's going to be the key for our title charge in the second half of this season. Now, looking at the league table, Fulham won 3-0, so they have caught up some points on us. Still only 1 point behind. Cardiff and Bristol have exchanged positions. Stoke come in as the top 6. West Brom just keep beating sides. They just are relentless at the moment. They're now 6 points above us in top spot. A 2-0 win away to Sheffield Wednesday on the day. 10-man FC Isle of Man hold on to a draw against Reading. Terry Daniels from Reading got the player of the match award with a 7.4. My assistant can do the post-match press conference because I think I've done everything he can do. And the Wolf has gotten a straight red. So he's getting an automatic 1-match card. No, sorry, it wasn't an automatic. It wasn't a straight red. It was 2 yellow cards. It took me a while to actually figure out in my brain how that sentence was working. He gets 1 match. Hopefully that isn't extended. And it's going to make it tricky for the next little run of fixtures that we've got coming up here. We've got Birmingham in the Cup. We've got Birmingham in the league. We've got Huddersfield in the Cup. We've then got Wigan and West Brom. I think what we'll do is we'll jump forward to the end of January, and we're probably going to come back and do this game against Bristol, who are currently in 5th spot, and Fulham, who are in 2nd. It's going to be a massive, massive set of fixtures there. Both home games for us, which is great. We can go a little bit more attacking at home, but it will mean we play the Birmingham and Wigan games off screen, as well as the FA Cup 3rd round tie against Huddersfield, who are down in 9th spot in the division. And it does mean we're starting off next week with a pretty fantastic run of fixtures. We've got February games that will probably bring March games as well, April, and then potentially playoff football or potentially like a bit of a season review. I'm already casting my mind ahead to episode 100 and what we're going to do this time next week. So if you've got any suggestions, anything you want to see for episode 100, drop it in the comment section below. More than anything, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that I appreciate the most. If you want to go that extra mile, support the content, support the channel, you can subscribe to be kept up to date on all our videos as they're released. We've been on a great run of Monday to Friday fixtures. Lockdown and quarantine has helped that quite a bit. I'm sure that will change once we all eventually go back to offices and back to work. But for now, let's just enjoy it for what it is. You can check out those links over on that side as well. All of our Twitter interactions, which are where we integrate with most of the community, and our regular Sunday night Twitch streams, twitch.tv/InTheMixer_FM. Sunday night if you're in Australia, Sunday morning if you're in the UK. But like I said at the start, thank you for watching. That's the part I appreciate the most. I've been Sean. I'll see you all again in the Mixer.